Hey everybody, and welcome to Reading, Writing, and Arithmetic. My name is Jan Harris, and I'm the host for, or hostess, I guess,
Hostess
Mr.
with the
mostest. For Reading, Writing, and Arithmetic, and honored to serve as the superintendent of Dade County Schools, Wolverine Nation.
That's right. Get him.
And today we are talking about Dade County High School, and we have with us the new principal, Mr. Jamie Farney, who was also last year, weren't you the Chamber Educator of the Year?
Yes.
Was it last
might have been
year or the year
before. I'm not sure. Ms. Ball and I shared the crown.
Mr. Chance is this year, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. So it was last year. You're right.
I remember that, and we're so pleased to have you at the high school. And what's going on over at the high school, Mr. Farney?
This is that time of year, and you know as well as I know that when Christmas rolls around, we've got the end of the first semester wrapping up. We've got all kinds of activities and things planned. Chorus performances, band performances. The last 2 nights have been incredible. It never ceases to amaze me how talented our kids are. I had the joy of going and seeing my daughter perform with the Davis Chorus. She's a 5th grader this year, and then that same night ran down the mountain and got to see our high schoolers perform, and it's amazing. They're both beautiful and wonderful in their own ways, but the growth that they show over those next 6-7 years is just phenomenal. But lots of different things going on.
Well, I want to tell you something about the choral. I was at Davis for one of the performances, and also the Davis choir sang at the Expo on Saturday.
Yes.
And what a wonderful event Nathan Wooten and his crew put on at the
They knocked it out of the park.
Expo. If you missed it, you want to be looking for that next year to do your Christmas shopping at the high school. But anyway, the thing that stands out for me is the joy that the children have, like at Davis, when they're singing. They're just so uninhibited and just dancing and singing. And at the program, the band and the choral, but the choral, our students were singing in Spanish and French. And they're going to Disney World. Yep,
that's right around the corner.
It's amazing.
They're going to get to meet Neil Patrick Harris from, the TV star. He's going to actually be the narrator for their Candlelight Processional, I believe is what they refer to it as. And I know they're all looking forward to that. And kudos to Miss Haston for being able to organize and put all that together. It is a tremendous undertaking, as you well know, taking kids anywhere. Chattanooga's tough enough. Having to leave the state, that's a whole nother challenge.
And the band.
Oh my goodness!
Wow! That's all you can say.
Just phenomenal.
Outstanding.
Yep. The chances are absolutely wonderful. The time and effort that they put into things is just, honestly, I've been in different counties with big time band programs that were the kind of the crown jewel of kind of what was going on, and they've got nothing on our kids, especially for the size of our school, the number of talented musicians that we're turning out. I was watching kids switch instruments during in one song, they're switching instruments back and forth. Our kids don't just learn one instrument. I was talking to one girl today when she came in, and I said, "Hey, great job with the trumpet yesterday," and she said, "Oh, I play the French horn too," and I was like, "Wow." All right.
Wow.
I couldn't even play the trombone. So.
Well, and research shows students who are involved in band or choral, they make better grades. And of course, the extracurricular activity also gives you a boost on your behavior and everything. And while we're talking about band, I just want to say thank you to Dade County because of the SPLOST dollars that the citizens provide for our students. We have band instruments.
Absolutely.
And we wouldn't be able to do that without the SPLOST money, so thank you.
Yeah. I know when I was in high school, I had to pay for my trombone. It lasted 1 year. But,
I didn't know you played the trombone.
Not well. But, I marvel at the kids and their talent, and it's so awesome to be in a district where we've got board members and community support like we do, to be able to fund programs like that. It's... you can't do it without the almighty dollar. And our band is bringing home superiors. They were in the Tennessee competition,
Yes.
and the level 2, they were like the top overall, highest rated. So I mean, we're getting accolades, even outside of the state for the great work that the Chances are doing, and seeing kids that have that kind of outlet, I mean, it's so important, whether it's athletics or music or drama. The drama performance was fantastic. Singing in the Rain was not too long ago.
Incredible.
Our fine arts department is truly excellent.
Well, and we're probably going to have to start giving tickets because we ran out of chairs. We had so many people.
That's true.
At the concerts that we had standing room only, and we brought in chairs. And it was packed.
Yeah.
And our board chair, Carolyn Bradford, and I were on the very front row, and they brought in other chairs. We barely had a seat, and we were ready to forfeit our seats for our community if they came. But anyway, it was great. What else going on? Oh, I saw some sweet little children yesterday.
Yes.
Speaking of the joy.
Yes. It's like, again, one of those things that we do at this time of year that's always so much fun. I've always been on the other end, bringing kids up from Davis to participate in Project Graduation. But we had yesterday with us the class of 2030 from Davis and Dade Elementary School. That's all of our kindergartners in the county. And they came through and they got to see a little glimpse of what high school was all about. We set up little visits in each of our CTAE classrooms. Those are the career technical classrooms, so healthcare, construction, and they all had a little station kind of set up for them so they could get a glimpse of things. Our food science made cookies for them. Construction, they were using the little bandsaw and making ornaments for the kids, and they were really getting excited. Our chorus came in and performed for them, and then invited them to sing along Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and some other classics. And then as they were leaving, they got a chance to visit with Santa and Mrs. Claus and a pretty great elf too.
There they are.
Yeah, so that's them. The class of 2030.
I told them they own the high school. Their parents pay for the high school.
That's right.
That's right.
There's Miss Clark.
Miss Clark.
The kids were so excited. And you can see it's a huge group. Can't wait to get them through. And I told them it would be here before they knew it.
I know. It goes by very quickly. They could barely see over the seats, Mr. Farney.
They were so well behaved too. And there's Dylan Gibson. We told him he was Santa's helper. He did a wonderful job. He had his little rosy cheeks going on, and you can barely see Kennedy as Mrs. Claus. She's the captain of the cheerleading team. Just a wonderful young lady. And there's Molly Linder and some other students. They were actually writing the kids' names on the back of their ornaments to personalize them. So. Yeah,
aren't they beautiful?
That's the broadcast facility there, and they're getting to see what we do in video production.
Don't we have beautiful children, Mr. Farney?
We've got some good-looking kids.
Oh,
Look at there.
Miss Barton, assistant principal,
and little Kyler.
Kyler.
Yeah,
that's her daughter, and she has another daughter.
Yep, Lorelei in first grade. Yeah,
kindergarten and first grade.
Just back to back.
Wow,
they're wonderful kids. I love getting to see them. We all end up at the same events, of course, because we all want to support the basketball team or whatever. And Kyler and Lorelei just brighten up my day, and I know my daughter loves hanging out with them too. But
me too.
Anyway, but it's just an absolutely great program, the Project Graduation. We've been doing it for several years now. Like I said, this is the first year that I've been on the high school end of things, and it just every year Pam Barton does a wonderful job getting everything organized. Dr. Cantrell getting the transportation organized. It takes a lot to get everybody in the right spot, but the kids behave so beautifully, and it's just a lot of fun to see their eyes light up. A lot of them it's their very first time, and we love to get them excited. It's way down the road, but you can never start too early.
I tell you where else you get really excited. Sports.
Yes. You might hear me at basketball games yelling a little too loud.
I have heard you. I thought I was going to have to put you in detention, Mr. Farney.
I'm working on that.
That was terrible, ref.
Yeah, I've been known to say a few words.
Husband?
Yeah,
it may have been my husband.
We were tag teaming on that night. I know the one you're talking about. People don't get to hear me because I was up in the box during football games doing my yelling, and Joel Sewell did all the yelling for me. The voice of the Wolverines.
He says, "Come on, you Wolverine fans, get on your feet."
Yeah, get off your seats, get on your feet. We couldn't do it without old Joe. He's a wonderful guy. But we've got some announcements that I wanted to share with everybody in case these managed to get by without folks knowing. We've got some very talented athletes in addition to these kids in chorus and band and arts. So we had the all-region team selections, and we had the first team offense. We had running back Malachi Webb, who had 195 carries on the season, ran for over 1,000 yards and a dozen touchdowns. Then, of course, the Honey Badger himself, Lee Spencer, with 110 carries, 637 yards on the year, 12 touchdowns, and he also pulled in 13 catches for another 300 yards. And then Gavin Tierce had 89 tackles and was first-team defense along with Lee Spencer. So Lee Spencer made it both on the offensive and defensive side. He had 79 tackles on the year. Second team offensive line selections were Noah Brown and Michael Green. They're the starting offensive guards, and so they both made it. When we ran the ball as well as we do, we got to have those big guys up front pushing the other guys around. So, and then second team defense, Greg Templeton from the defensive end slot. He's had 63 tackles and 6 sacks on the season. Trey Whitehead had a great season with 34 tackles, 2 interceptions, 7 breakups on pass defense. And then we had some honorable mentions that I'd like to share with you, and that was junior Tyler King was an honorable mention for the offensive line. Our junior defensive back Harley Walker and sophomore defensive end Josh Williams all were honorable mentions. And then we got news recently for softball all-region and all-state. First team all-region were Sydney Poston and Megan Shower, and second team all-region were Madison Shower and Zoe Moore. And then for all-state, we had 2 honorable mentions, Sydney Poston and Madison Shower.
And they were on the homecoming court.
Yes, and who was it? Megan Shower was the one that took the beautiful pictures that we saw just a minute ago. She's wonderful in video editing. I mean, these kids, multi-talented. Yes, absolutely.
Well, I think it's time for us to take a break, Mr. Farney, and we'll be back, and I see some really strong, handsome young men, football players. They're going to join us when we come back.
Hungry? How about Cloud's Pizza on Highway 71 in Higdon? Not only do we have pizza with dough made fresh every day, Cloud's Pizza serves a delicious hot food bar, and we make cookies fresh every day. Make sure to order the famous cheese sticks, made with that fresh dough and real Wisconsin cheese. And don't miss Fish Fry Friday. That includes catfish, hush puppies, and more for only $8.99 Friday, 4 p.m. to close. Cloud's Pizza, Alabama Highway 71 in Higdon, 597-3100. Open till 8, Monday through Saturday at Cloud's Pizza. Tennessee Valley Net, your local provider of fiber optic high-speed internet, TV with over 200 digital channels available, and phone service with lots of extras. Fiber optics from TVN is expanding to many areas. Call and see if TVN is available in your area. 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net today. Bundle and save on fiber optic high-speed internet, digital TV, and phone service. All from Tennessee Valley Net. 706-657-4367. Online at tvn.net. Have lunch or dinner at Guthries, home of the original golden fried chicken finger and the best chicken finger sauce in the world. Guthries can help you plan your family's meals or get-togethers with bucket specials every Tuesday, those delicious wings on Wednesday, and platters every day of the week. Plus, get sweet tea by the gallon. Remember, Guthries has a party room for small gatherings, too. Guthries, Highway 136 West in Trenton, home of those golden fried chicken fingers and the best chicken finger sauce in the world.
Guthries, not fast food, good food fast.
This is Roscoe Pico Train. I want an all-points bulletin on Comfort Gallery in Kimball. See, they must be up to something. Their trucks are all over. I'm very suspicious activity.
Ooh, I love it, I love it. Possum on a gunbush ship. Gary and all them just good old boys having a big sale, and they deliver free of charge.
Enos, you dipstick. There's no way they're delivering that much furniture. Their trucks are everywhere.
It's because of their great prices and service, Chef. They have catnapper recliners for $269, new queen mattress sets $299, king size mattress sets $399, memory foam pillows $19.99, queen size chairs, sleigh beds $299, lift chairs and adjustable beds also on sale.
Enos, will you hush? I heard all that. I love it, I love it. Check out Comfort Gallery Mattress. And they're having a big sale. They offer free delivery and setup. 6 months same as cash. Ooh, free 1-year layaway and even a no credit check payment plan. I love it, I love it. They're open 7 days a week and accept most major credit cards. Good.
Wow, I am so excited to be sitting by these strong, handsome young men, football players, not just football players, Mr. Farney, but stars.
Absolutely. These guys.
Tell us about them.
Yeah, they have been named. Some of the names that you heard earlier, I'll introduce them to you in just a second, but they have been named to the North Georgia versus Metro Atlanta All-Star game. And a lot of times when you get named to a team, it's, like a list in the newspaper. In this particular case, these guys are actually having a couple more practices, and they're going to be playing one more game this season, so they get a little extra time. So I'll introduce them, and then Gavin will take over for a second and kind of tell us what's been going on, how practices have been going, and all that. Down at the end next to you, Dr. Harris, is Noah Brown. He's the offensive lineman you were hearing so much about, pushing the other guys around. Of course, Gavin Tierson, the center, who is a linebacker, and Lee Spencer, who played on both sides of the ball and is really excited to be here. He's a little nervous, but we'll break him in. So, Gavin, start us off and talk to us a little bit about what's been going on. I know you've had one practice. You've got another one today. Is that right?
Right.
Talk to us about what that looks like and what you guys have been working on.
Well, we showed up yesterday for the first time and didn't really know what was going on. So we just kind of hung out, froze to death, and then...
froze to death.
Yeah. It was about 27 degrees.
Do you wear gloves?
Ooh.
How'd you catch the ball?
I don't play in gloves.
Okay.
Yeah. So we all huddled up or whatever when everybody got there, and they pretty much just told us, defense is going to be on this side, offense on that side, and they split us up. In D groups, we just kind of introduced ourselves or whatever, and tried to learn the defense as best we could, because it's a completely different system, and we got to learn it in 3 days.
Wow.
So at linebacker, I've got to call everything. So I've got to learn all the checks, all the line adjustments, all the coverage adjustments. So that's been kind of difficult, and I struggled with that for the most part yesterday. And then then I'd say about an hour in, we came together and had Pasco, which is 7-on-7. So it's the linebackers in secondary versus the quarterbacks and receivers.
Right.
We did that, and we did that for 20 minutes?
Yeah.
And then after that, we had a team session, so we went at it for a good 30 minutes and then did special teams. So
very cool. Now, tell us where you had to go for practice.
We had to drive all the way to Calhoun High School.
All right, so Calhoun, and so we were talking about this earlier. Lee, what's it like to kind of be on the same team as some of these people you've been facing all season?
It's weird.
Talk to us about that. Who's been somebody that surprised you? You're like, this is a pretty good guy after all. Or are they all pretty rough?
Trying. We don't like trying. They're usually mean to us, but we got there and they was pretty cool.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Noah, what's been the biggest thing with you, man? Just getting back in the swing of things. What does it feel like to be taking hits now in late December?
It feels great because, I don't know, just getting back into it.
Getting a little extra chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your parents proud of you? I know they are.
Yeah.
It's really such a cool honor to it's one thing to be named again to a list of people, but to get an extra game, it's kind of like having a playoff game or something like that. So that's really special.
Well, that's something they'll be proud of the rest of your life. You'll be telling your kids one day, "Well, I was in the All-Star game and we played in December. It was freezing."
The game is going to be at Marietta High School. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And that's December 16th. Do they have a time? I know it was to be announced.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
Okay. So that's Saturday, December 16th, if you want to make the trip down there to support these fellas at Marietta High School in Cobb County. It'll be a haul. But
It's a long ways.
yeah. Are y'all's family going out there to see?
Yep.
Mine is.
That's cool. That's great. Well, I'm glad they can make it out there, and I might see if I can roll down there. I have to borrow some gas money from Dr. Harris.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Y'all have any advice for our little football players? How could they get to where you are? What's the one thing that you
got to want it more.
attribute your success? What?
You got to want it more than the other opponent. And if you don't want it more, then you ain't going to be able to do anything.
Gotta want it. Gotta want it more.
And I'll say, in watching them this year, I agree with that statement 1,000%. I coached a lot of different sports, and the heart that these three guys played with, I mean, that's what puts you on a team like this. You know, there's lots of good athletes out there, but what's right in there, that's what makes all the difference. And these guys are three great examples.
What about you guys? Do you have any advice?
Just to second what Lee said, just you gotta work a little harder than anybody else. You've gotta
Good advice.
You gotta set the example for the people around you, and then once you do that, then I consider you a leader. So in order to get where we're at right now, you've gotta take more steps than just the average Joe to get where we are. So
just don't give up. You don't know when it's going to be your last time.
Don't give up. That's really great advice. We're so glad to have you guys on the show today, and I think Cody's given us the sign that we're going to have a little break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about the ZAP program, Mr. Farney. I can't wait to talk about the ZAP program. Stay tuned.
Methamphetamine affects everyone, your neighbors, your friends, and even your family.
Know the signs.
Physical symptoms include you may have extreme difficulty sleeping and even insomnia, and you may lose your appetite.
Know the signs. Please know the signs.
You can seem nervous and anxious and even have paranoia.
Know the signs.
Overheat easily and sweat without even being hot.
Know the signs.
Dilated pupils and even hair loss.
Know the signs.
Hallucinations and delusions. And you can also have tachycardia, which is a rapid heart rate.
Know the signs.
You may have liver damage and loss of skin elasticity.
Know the signs.
You may notice unexplained financial instability and social isolation.
Know the signs.
You may have a false sense of euphoria, coupled with strong depression and even risky behavior, legal trouble, memory loss, and repeated incarceration.
Please know the signs. Unfortunately, we do.
A time-tested financial institution equipped with the latest banking technology, the Bank of Dade, with mobile banking to fit your on-the-go lifestyle. Download our latest app today for your iPhone, Android, or tablet to bank on the go. Check your balance, pay bills, make deposits, and keep track of your account anytime and anywhere with the Bank of Dade's smartphone app. Make life easier by using today's most advanced banking technology to your advantage. Call us at 657-6842 or visit on the web at bankofdade.com. Your hometown bank since 1956, the Bank of Dade. Main offices on Highway 11 North in Trenton, and drive-thrus on Highway 11 North and Highway 136 West. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. The Moore family name has built a legacy of trust, compassion, and peace of mind by standing with families during time of loss. Now in our 70th year, the Moore family commitment grows even stronger, from affordable, traditional services to cremation. Our experienced staff stands ready to follow through on you and your family's wishes. Since 1945, the Moore family of funeral homes, North Sand Mountain and Trenton, always dedicated to those we serve.
Looking for a great way to change your look? You'll find the friendly professionals at A Classy Cut Salon ready to care for you. A Classy Cut Salon is in the Grove Shopping Center next to the Dollar General. We serve men and women of all ages at A Classy Cut Salon. Call 657-5607. That's 657-5607 for an appointment, or just walk right in for your next classy cut from A Classy Cut Salon in the Grove Shopping Center, Highway 11 North in Trenton.
Hey, welcome back. It was great seeing our football stars.
Yes.
And, I'm so proud of them.
Absolutely. Like I said, those guys, all three of them, not only good athletes, but great head on their shoulders. They'll be doing big things, whether it's in college football or just life. The experiences that they've had and the heart and character that they've shown on that football field, it translates to real-world success. So I can't wait to see what those three guys have in store in their future.
Great role models.
Absolutely.
And we're so proud of them. And Mr. Farney, you're doing a lot of new things over at the high school this year, and I think you're raising the bar. What's the ZAP program? Tell everybody at home about the ZAP program.
We're certainly trying to. The ZAP program, you can see on the screen there, zeros aren't permitted, and basically the whole idea is that if a child turns in nothing, like they don't complete a project or they get a 0 on a test, that doesn't give us any idea of what they've really learned in that class. So we're letting students know that zeros aren't permitted. That doesn't mean that we're going to give them a 55 for doing nothing or anything like that. But it is holding them accountable, letting them know that, and it's not for every little homework assignment or every classroom assignment, but those big projects, the ones that tend to torpedo grades at the end of a semester and things like that. So they come in on Wednesdays, and we work with Ms. Barton, Brent Cooper, and myself, and we cover those times, and we get them in. We make sure that they've learned the material. We support them however we can, and they turn that in. And they get almost full credit for it, so it's not one of those where you turn it in for 30% credit or something. And again, the bottom line is holding the kids accountable and letting them know that failure is not an option. We're going to keep going until they turn it in. If I miss a deadline for you, you don't just say, all right, well, that was it. You say, well, get it to me as soon as you can.
That doesn't happen very often.
Well,
I can't think that's ever happened. But you're right. You're absolutely right. And if you're late on turning in your income tax, you're penalized, but you still have to do the work. So it really makes sense to me what you're doing, and I totally agree with failure is not an option. So
yeah,
that's great. What about students who are tardy?
Yeah, so I can't remember the exact statistic, but over 40% of our students last year had 10 or more absences. And, research shows that really anything over 5 absences in a school year is going to have an impact academically on the student's success. So we created a time-for-time program. I believe Ms. Barton was the one that had this idea originally, and we just ran with it. But you can see, with the unexcused tardies on the left and the absences, we give warnings because we know that things happen. There's fog on the mountain or whatever. But when you get that third offense, you have a 30-minute time-for-time session, and those are on Wednesdays as well. But we can work with other folks' schedules, where they learn that if they miss out on class time, then they're going to have to miss out on some of their personal time in order to make up the assignments, make sure they keep up with class work. And that way they know that there's a direct correlation. If they miss class, whether it's through a tardy or an absence, then they're going to have to make that time up. And so it's been a pretty good deterrent for some of our kids that have been, tardy. I know that when kids come in late now, they're like, oh man, I'm going to have time for time. And so that's kind of where we're at now. We're always looking for ways to improve. And
I bet that is really helping with behavior issues. Do you have any data on our students behaving well, doing their work, Mr.
Yeah. I was just looking at it yesterday, as a matter of fact. We've seen so far at this point in the year a 44% reduction in the number of referrals, which translates to about 200 fewer referrals just in the first half of the year. And
that's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's been a pleasure. Like I said, I've worked in other districts. I've worked at high schools that have been really challenging demographically, socioeconomically, things like that. A lot of behavior issues. We've got some amazing kids.
We do.
Just well behaved. I know when Advanced Ed was here, all they could do was just keep bragging on how wonderful our kids were, and the community as a whole. We live in a special place. They did.
They said when they went in the elementary classes that they even got love notes, they said, from students. But we're about to run out of time. Is there anything in closing? Anything else you wanted to tell our community?
Really nothing else. We've got a couple of things coming up. The chorus is going to Disney World and that kind of thing. That's the 19th through the 24th. Band January 18th through the 21st. We've got kids going to UGA to participate in the Jan Fest out there. So still keeping things going and
good things.
Yeah,
good news.
Absolutely.
Good news at Dade County High School, home of the Wolverines. We want to thank you for joining this segment of Reading, Writing, and Arithmetic. We'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks.